Okay, for today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the revision questions on your Module 2 workbook, page number 26. Let's take a look at the question. Question number 1. Matter is described as anything that has. So this one has only one answer. Matter is described as anything that has mass and volume. So the answer will be C. Next. For question 2 to 6, you're asked to choose the correct property of the matter that matches the given description. So for the first one, when we stretch a metallic spring, it becomes longer. On releasing the spring, returns to the original length. So we say that the spring is elastic. Okay, so this answer is B. Next. Some rock sugar was crushed into powder and then added to a cup of water. The mixture is stirred until no more sugar powder was seen. So this means that the sugar has dissolved in the water. Okay, so we are looking at the solubility. C. Next, question number 4. Two small balls of similar sizes are dropped into water. One is made of plastic, the other one is made from plasticine. Only the plastic ball floats. Alright, so this one floats. Your plasticine one will sink. So for this, right, when we talk about floating or sinking, we are talking about the density. Alright, so your plastic ball is less dense than water, therefore it will float on the water. Your plasticine is denser than water, so it sinks. Next, a small amount of sand is added into a beaker of water and cooking oil. Even after stirring, the sand remains visibly clear. Right, sand remains visibly clear, so basically your sand does not dissolve. So what are we talking about over here? So over here, right, this is talking about the solubility again. C. Right, so your sand does not dissolve. That's why you can still see it. Okay. Next, turn to the next page. A scratch test was carried out to test out the hardness of material W, X, Y, and Z. Test results are given below. So your W can scratch X. So W is harder than X. W harder than X. Then your Y cannot be scratched by X. So Y is harder than X again. W can scratch Y. So W is harder than Y. And then your material Z can scratch everything, W, X, Y. So Z is the hardest. Okay, this is the hardest. Okay, so your first question asks you, question number 6 asks you, which of the following correctly arrange the material according to their hardness? So we already see that your Z is the hardest already. So your Z must be over here. Okay, hardest one. So A and C is out already. Okay, so I'm left with B or D. So after Z is W. Then after W, what is the next one? Is Z, X or Y harder? So we take a look right over here. Y is harder than Z, than X, sorry. So Y is harder. So your answer will be D. Okay, next. Question number 7. The electrical conductivity of matter refers to how easily electrical conductivity, we are looking at how easily the material allows an electric current to pass through it. So this answer is C. Next. Question number 8. Okay, for question 8 is actually very similar to one of your worksheet question, right? It says that slotted masks are attached to 4 different materials A, B, C, D without snapping. So which material is the most flexible? Alright, so we need to see which one is the most flexible. Now you take a look, each of these material has different mass that's attached to it. This one is 50, this 100, 150 grams, 150 grams. So we need to check and see, okay, for let's say for every 50 grams, how long can this material A, B or C extend? So for first one, right, 50 grams, it will extend by 3 cm. For the second one, this is 100 gram, right? So if this is 50 grams, it will extend by 13 divided by 2 equal to 6.5 cm. This one is 150, so if it is 50 grams, it will extend by 6 divided by 3 equal to 2 cm. Okay, then the last one, this is 150, so if it is 50 grams, it will extend by 13 divided by 3, which is equal to 4.3 cm. So the most flexible one, the one that stretches the most, is B. Okay, next, move on to the next page. Question number 9. The diagram below shows a soldering iron instrument that's used to heat and melt metal parts and join them together. Okay, this fuse means join. Alright, so I have X, Y, and Z over here. Which of the following correctly shows the type of materials used for making parts labeled X, Y, and Z in the above diagram? So if you can see, right, this part over here, this is obviously a metal. Alright, and then I have Y and I have Z. Alright, Y and Z. So Y, right, this part is usually is made out of plastic, and then this is the part where your wire is, right? So the covering of your wire usually is made out of rubber. So let's take a look at the question. Metal, A, B, C, D, all metal, so these are all correct. For Y, it's supposed to be a plastic, right? So plastic, plastic. Then for Z, is supposed to be rubber. So rubber over here, answer will be D. Question number 10. 4 rods of the same thickness but different materials were placed in a beaker of hot water for 10 minutes. Which rod will be the hottest when touched? So which rod can conduct heat the best? Steel, glass, plastic or wood? I think it's very easy. Obviously, the metal rod that is made of steel will be the hottest, okay, because it is the best conductor of electricity. So answer A. Question number 11. Solid X is suspected to be a metal. Its characteristics are: it does not conduct electricity, it glitters in the presence of light, it is very hard, it does not melt even when it is heated to a very high temperature. Okay, so this is quite a tricky question. So which explanation best observe your conclusion about substance X? Now take note, it is a metal because it has a very high melting point. Yes, metal do have high melting point, but if you take a look at the first point, right, it does not conduct electricity. Okay, it says that it does not conduct electricity. Now you know that all metals conduct electricity. So for this, right, we can conclude that your substance X is actually not a metal. Alright, because it does not conduct electricity. All metals will be able to conduct electricity. Okay, so answer is C. So even though it has high melting point, it is not a metal. Alright, and of course, metal not all metal will glitter. Okay, glitter means it looks like very shiny. Alright, so not all metal glitters in light. Next, evaporation is a very common experimental method used for mixing different type of chemical? No. Separating liquid from liquid mixture? No. Separating a soluble solid. Okay, so soluble solid means it is a solid that can dissolve. Solid that can dissolve. Alright, so answer C. So your evaporation to dryness, right? Evaporation method, it can be used to separate salt from seawater, for example. So I just need to evaporate the water, then I'm left with the salt. Answer C. Question number 13. You're asked to identify the part K, L, M, N. So I have K, L, M. So if you take a look at this setup, right? This is a filtration setup. Alright, this is a filtration that is taking place over here. I have the filter funnel, I have a beaker, and then I have a conical flask here. So I pour this thing in, and then I'll separate it. So what is K, L, and M? So the first one, right, this is obviously your mixture. We separate a mixture. So K is a mixture. So whatever I'm left here, right, is called the residue. Okay, this is the residue. So L is the residue. It resides there. So it stays there. Okay, it gets caught in the filter paper. Then whatever that goes down, it drips down. This is called your filtrate. So this is M, filtrate. Answer A. Next. Question number 14. Susan wants to separate chalk powder from water. Okay, from this mixture of chalk powder, salt and water, what separation technique is required? First of all, right, we need to see first. I have chalk powder. Chalk powder is insoluble. So, it does not dissolve. Okay, then I have salt. Will salt dissolve? Yes, okay, your salt dissolves. So I know that I have water. I have one substance that cannot dissolve in water. I have one that dissolves in water. So how can I separate them? Okay, how can I separate this chalk powder that does not dissolve? So all I need to do, right, is to just carry out. So the first step, I will filter first. Okay, so I carry out filtration. It will help me get out the chalk powder. So this chalk powder, right, it doesn't dissolve, so I get out the chalk powder first. Then after that, I am left with salt and water, right? So in order to get the water out, I will need to evaporate it, and then I will condense it. So my answer will be A, filtration and then condensation. Alright, answer A. Next, what is evaporation? Evaporation, is it a process that occurs only when heated to boiling point? No. Evaporation can take place at any temperature. Alright, it is the change of liquid water into vapor at the surface. Yes. So the answer is B. So this is the answer for your revision question MCQ. Please check your answer and do your corrections.